Hello everyone, this is Dominic with Valexin Gaming, welcoming you back to another episode of Final Fantasy 15, and we are here with Tits McGee. We have to talk to her to start the first quest.
She ain't gonna be ready for a while. Y'all need something?
And it does give us dialogue options, although they don't change literally anything.
Bit steep for a simple tune-up, don't you think?
Oh, now I get it. This must be what Pawpaw meant when he said he was gonna teach them boys a lesson. Told me he ought to have y'all take care of some ornery varmints that have been causing a ruckus around here. I'd be happy to pay y'all for your services if you're up to the challenge. How about it?
Knew it. Called it.
Well, so much for finding an easy way out. Thanks a lot, Pawpaw.
I earned 10 AP. Spend AP to power up Noctis and his friends, blah blah blah. I don't know why it takes me here. I don't think I can really do much with 10 AP. The first thing I want to do though is go into exploration and get AP for camps. Nope, 20, 32, 32. Yeah, see, you want to put into these because you effectively do everything on this list of shit before, as you just move around the world. So like, happy camping, increase AP for making a camp. Road running, gain AP for trips in the car. I will try to cut out and edit out most of the trips in the car that are really long that I can't fast travel to, but realistically, you would want to, in-game, if you're playing this through by yourself, you would want to just leave the car running, so you gain AP for trips in the car, and then you can gain experience for being in the car as well, and I think all of these are experience for the second level, yeah, so you really just want to get this, kind of this first ring of stuff. Gain AP for chocobos, riding a chocobo, gain AP for winning a chocobo race. This is really good. Extend the status boost from meals eaten at camp specifically. And then you gain AP for cooking someone's favorite food, which will tell you when you cook something if they really like the food. Further extend the status boost and greatly extend the status boost. Fantastic. Take photos in battle. Up to 5 can be saved. This is worth getting because if you're going for trophies, I think that Aranea, oh no, what's her face? I can't remember her name, but Lunafreya's assistant will appear randomly in one of the photos that Prompto takes throughout the game. It's actually incredibly creepy because she looks like a fucking Japanese grudge ghost that's just in the photo. The first time I saw it, it literally freaked me out. But when you see her, you'll get a trophy for it, and I think this helps towards the trophy because you can also take photos in battle. And then gain AP for catching a fish. It's just, this is kind of the tree you want to start out with because the game isn't too hard in the beginning anyways.
But don't go running around after dark. The demons are liable to rip y'all to shreds. Here, this ought to be enough
And we
for
get a
place
bangle.
to stay. Just between us, though. Don't tell Pawpaw.
She couldn't give us a discount on the car, but she'll just give us 1,000 gil to stay somewhere. What? Alright, so I forget how to I feel like there was a quick way to open the map. I guess not. Use the map to locate outposts and other points of interest. Areas you visit and objects you encounter will be added to the map. Talking to tipsters at restaurants will teach you about the surrounding area. Oop, okay. So we really only have to go like a foot to get to whatever's over here. Stamina decreases as you run, but if you jump, it puts your stamina back up. Oh, it used to. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of The Witcher. I don't know. But anyways, you can see in the bottom left, it tells you the weapon you got equipped, and then you can switch weapons on the fly. Also, before I do anything, I remember that I got some gear. We're going to put it on Noctis. Bronze Bangle increases the maximum HP there. That's good. Threat meters at the top.
Looks like we found our first
Now, apparently in wait mode, I can scan an enemy. I've never done this. And it'll tell me at the top left there which weapon they're weak to and what magic they're weak to. So this one's weak to great swords and swords. I currently have a sword equipped, so I can warp strike it.
Ready,
Conjure weapons to attack, we know this.
got all those arms at your disposal.
Then I can switch.
What's the idea? I'm one of the good guys.
There we go.
Remember? Didn't mean to do that.
Yes, and after
Excellent
each
work.
battle, you get a report
On we
card.
go.
The report card dictates, you know, what you pick up and what you get. We have to continue on. And that's basically combat in a nutshell right there. You get more abilities as you go along, and you can use magics and stuff. I don't really like...
What happened
is this?
here?
The telegraph pole's been split in two. And not just this one either.
The hell do you think did this?
Hard to say. Natural disaster, perhaps?
Yeah, right.
You
It's a
sure?
big-ass monster.
Hammerhead doesn't have a scratch on it.
Maybe a huge monster came and knocked him down.
It better not be the varmint Cindy was talking about.
Anyways, what was I saying? The magic. So I didn't like the magic system, because you have to equip it as one of your weapons. And, you get... the hell was that noise? Huh. You equip it and you can cast it, but it takes forever to cast. It's just, they seem kind of useless to me. It wasn't very like it wasn't very dynamic. The ring on the map will dictate.
They aren't gonna know what hit them. Let's do this.
I don't actually know. Okay, so I can press square to roll dodge, and I can press square to defend against incoming attacks. There are points like this across the map
The best offense is a good defense.
where you can teleport to.
Outstanding!
See, right now I'm defending because it wants me to defend against 3 attacks, but he's not attacking me.
Done with this.
And you can parry,
Don't miss!
and that's a link strike.
So hard.
It takes 2.
And you can see we dodged 3 attacks there, so... And we get an A. I need to turn down the music in the game, though, because I can't barely hear anything. Master volume. Let's go down to 60.
We done in no time.
Now to the last
Let's get
area.
on with it.
Little objectives like that will pop up in combat. You don't have to do them if you don't want. You just get a little bonus from them.
So, where are we headed anyway?
Nowhere until the repairs are done. Then we head for Golden Key.
Then after that, we hop a boat, and before you know it, Loverboy's hitched.
Wait for car
Jumping
repairs?
might be faster than running.
Miles in the air. Got it.
See ya!
You can jump and attack, too.
Almost there. Give it your all.
Ah! Alright, so you get Warp Strike, which I've been doing. At this point in the game, Warp Striking is incredibly stamina intensive.
You're on fire today.
When you attack an enemy in the back like that, you'll get a blindside. A blindside strike will be extra damage, and if you're near one of your teammates, it'll be a Link blind strike.
Nice. Mission complete.
Alright, and I'm getting a call.
Who could this be? Hello?
Hey, it's Cindy. How goes the hunting?
Actually, we just finished.
Literally just finished.
Because I got one more hunt for y'all. Only this time, it's for a person. Fella named Dave went off, and we ain't heard from him since. Reckon he staked out a spot in an old shack nearby.
Old shack. Oh, got it. We'll take a look.
I don't remember where the shack is.
So,
It'll tell me. Alright, it tells me.
Needs us to find some Dave guy.
Ah, okay.
Went missing.
Not missing. Said he's holed up in that shack.
So clearly the great swords do more damage, but they swing slower. If you're really, really, really good at combat, which I am not, you can use the great sword in and out of using a different sword to minimize the amount of downtime you have when trying to launch an attack. I've seen people do it online. It's actually super impressive. I could never do that. Mutant dual horn sighting. Codename Bloodhorn. Characteristics: red tusks, extremely violent, outstanding bounty on saber tusks in the area.
Knocked!
get out of here!
Alright, so now that I know what wait mode is a thing, I'm gonna stand still.
We are now.
Spoke too soon.
These are weak to daggers, guns, and ice. I don't have neither daggers nor a gun right now, so I'm pretty much just gonna use my sword.
I'm going all out.
Just don't get too carried away.
Sure want to talk. Try this.
Where'd you learn that
When you
one,
break, when the break appears, it means you broke a body part off of the animal. Warp striking helps with breaking more, and there will be quests later where you need to acquire items. So if I do this, and I hold still, I can pick, because my green gauge is filled, I can pick one of my friends to do one of their special skills. Since Prompto is using a gun, we'll use Piercer.
Prompto, you're up.
And it also gives you it gives you invisibility frames when you do that too. So if you're in a pinch and you're about to eat shit, it's always good to kind of throw an ability in there
What about the
so you
shack
don't
over
die.
there?
Is it just gonna okay. I've always had a problem with the way Noctis ran, and I despise his little capri boot setup. It makes him look like a girl. And we're gonna initiate. Now holding a direction on the D-pad,
Care to hear my plan?
and
Give me the short version.
Brilliance can be summarized, I'm afraid.
you recover HP and MP on these, when you see these points you can warp to, which is really good because you want to warp straight back at an enemy, hopefully not miss like I just did.
No problems here.
And you can see I hot swapped there, and I can hot swap back and get a quick attack in.
What can I say?
And the idea is to keep swapping like that really quickly so you can get combos in.
Nonetheless,
I'm just not good at it, and a lot of enemies aren't really worth the trouble because you can just kill them quickly.
Well, and look who's in here. The man of the hour. Dave,
Some more experience.
been looking for you.
Didn't mean to cause y'all any trouble. I've been stuck here on account of my sprained ankle. Yeah, something funny about them varmints. I gave them hell, but
Dave.
didn't finish the job. Still one
Auburnbury.
mean about. Well, y'all don't look much like hunters, but
I'm sorry,
what do you
Dave.
say?
I'm having
That
trouble
puppy
paying
around
attention
for me?
because I can't stop thinking about Cindy's tits. I'd do it for free because I'm a nice person.
oh yeah, we'll take care of it.
He says.
Well, y'all got guts, that's for sure. Let me tell you where I last saw 'em.
So this is actually the initiation of a very long side quest
Way to
where you
show
find
some
Hunter's
stock.
emblems.
Now let's get ready to kick some tail.
We did just get a magic flask, a 30 experience. A magic flask is another, it's something to put magic in once you craft it. We still don't have a vehicle, so it's still making us run around. We can pick this up. What the hell is happening? Oh, that was weird.
Wise to rest up before we set out.
Why? A formidable foe awaits. Prepare for this encounter by resting at a nearby haven. Ignis will cook the status-boosting meal for your party. Okay. Yeah. I suppose you won't let me pick this item
In
up.
that case, let's find a spot to make camp.
The hunters are really out in full force around here, huh?
Alright,
So
fossil
they're the
wood.
new Crown's Guard or something?
Similar, though technically a civilian outfit.
They've definitely seen a lot more action than we have.
Is it cool that we rock Crown's Guard outfits?
Be worse not to. They made them especially for us.
Even got a sweet insignia on them.
In the Crown's Guard, your attire identifies you, so wear it with pride.
Now, before I do this, because we will get AP if I make a camp and I have the ability, we're gonna go, that's wrong, we're gonna go into Ascension, Exploration, and Jesus Christ, is my building on fire? I don't know if you could hear that, just a fucking motorcade of sirens just went by my house. Increase AP for making camp. We're gonna do this. I don't know where my AP is. There it is, 25. So we can do this. So now I'm gonna get AP for
You
making
wanna
camp.
make camp?
Yes, I do. Camps at Havens to enjoy a status boosting meal and a good rest to tally experience. Making meals
Let's
does
call it a
require items. I guess I got 2 AP for
I'll
that.
pitch the tent.
It's not a lot, of course, but it adds up over time. And you can get a lot of friendly bro-fist cutscenes at these camps, too. I don't know where they were stashing all this camping gear when we were running, but... Looks like a pretty badass campsite, though. Little gay that we don't have our own tents, but, you know. Music is fantastic in this game, just fantastic. Ignis uses ingredients to prepare meals at the camp. No shit. Acquire new recipes to expand Ignis's cookbook. And the variety of bonuses available. Now, it'll tell you down there, there are certain meals that don't require anything. For example, these first two require nothing. But then this requires something, these require something. So you'll over the course of the game, you'll acquire recipes that don't require anything. But you never really want to use them. And then, of course, it tells you the boosts you get. Do we want HP or do we want attack? 'Cause I'm not really in the mood to use up my items right now. I think we'll just go for attack. And then in turn, Ignis's cooking skill will rise every time, of course, he cooks something. So if you wanted to max this out to get the trophy, realistically, you would just need to find a really item-expensive or item-heavy recipe. He literally burnt toast and is feeding it to me. You'd find an item-intensive recipe and then just keep camping over and over and over until you've maxed out his skill. Same thing with fishing. You find a fishing spot and you just fish forever until you've killed the pond. This is also how you level up. You have to sleep at a hotel or camp, and then you can bank your HP, or your levels. That's a level. That's a level. And you do get AP, of course, every time you level one character up, so you can see now I have 31 AP, which ironically is 1 AP off from being needing to get a certain ability. I think what was 32. Prompto got a lot of photography in there somewhere. Yeah, see, he got... And you can share all these. Look, he got a nice titty pic. And these are actually from his camera in-game sometimes, and a lot of them are from the cutscenes like this.
Nailed it. Why can't I warp too?
Sometimes they'll take really good pictures of battle. But that's how you look at those. Access the pause menu outside a dungeon to save manually. Tutorials offer a wealth of story and gameplay information. Take time to review them.
Like a father to
And the Mutant
Ever since
Marauder.
they got back, Sid's been the only one looking after her.
Now you'll notice
Rather more than a middling mechanic can handle.
on the minimap,
Considered, I'd say she turned out okay.
Like any girl, you just need to treat her right.
Treat her wrong and Sid'll stuff his wrench where the sun don't shine.
so we just absorbed elemental energy from this rock. Generally they're around these camps.
Take care of the car, and it will take care of us.
And you can then of course make elemental magic uses out of these. This game's combat system reminds me of Kingdom Hearts, but it's more adult and way more difficult. I really feel like jumping is faster than running. And we're off. In the wrong direction. There we go. Now we have to actually go a long way. We have to go a fourth of a mile. This is a parking spot. Once we get our car, we can actually park here, which now means we can fast travel to it. You can fast travel to parking spots. It does do to look around for items on the ground. There are some set drops, some not set drops. This chocobo feather. Is
Sometimes
a patch
I
of
wonder if we'll ever sit inside that beautiful car again.
Food?
Sitting most of the day was pretty nice.
Napping was even better.
And the game really is just a lot of this after a point. There'll come a time where you'll be presented with just a plethora of side quests and hunts become a thing where you can go to a diner or a hotel and they'll give you special hunts where you have to go kill some enemies and that rewards you. So the open world aspect of this is actually pretty well done, but the delivery of the plot was just, in my opinion, abysmal. Mostly because the game was rushed. It's very apparent, especially when you get to the end of the game, that the game was rushed.
That's it, right?
Huh. That's a dual horn?
Yes, but not your run-of-the-mill breed. We'd best make quick work of it.
Alright, I wanna... Oh.
Wait a sec.
What? Scared, big guy?
You ought to be too. Thing's vicious.
You sure? Looks tame to me.
Yeah.
Look out!
This is pretty cool.
Nice one.
It's not over yet!
Alright. Of course, it does take longer to cast Libra on certain enemies, which then drains the wait timer, apparently. I would assume once the wait timer is done, you can't use it anymore. He's weak to spears, so we're going to put our spear on there. And he's got a strength against, or resistance to ice, it would seem. So we're going to just get right in there. And we want to get behind him. It says we have a Technic now, so we will use Ignis's this time, because he basically just is a... He gives you an elemental weakness to the thing. Oh, I don't actually have the skill on right now. See, there's our blindside link. You can keep getting blindsides on him. So we want to use Gladiolus's now, because he'll use a big-ass greatsword. Have Gladiolus use Tempest, and then I have to follow his lead, which means I have to press circle at the correct time to get a bonus attack in. And I guess that didn't count, but that should have. And we get the red tusk.
None the worse for wear.
Almost got all A pluses too, not bad.
One.
Oh, getting a call.
Ring.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey,
Cindy again.
just called and said he's safe.
Hey,
Thanks for
tits.
finding him.
Okay.
Nice work, y'all. By the way, the old girl's looking good as new. She'll be waiting at the garage.
That was an incredibly fast tune-up. Over here you'll see a mineral
Sit
icon.
next behind the wheel.
Ignis should take it and never let go.
It helps that he can keep 4 eyes on the dash.
Of course, here you can find
couldn't even keep
more
up.
items for crafting and
Sure, I'd
shite
do
like
any
that.
better.
Put me on the
Camera
driver's
just
seat.
went fucking weird on me.
'Cause I need the leg room in
And now we have to run half a mile. Interesting. It is a visually astounding video game, to be sure. One of my favorite things about it is cutscenes. There are cutscenes in the game, but it's really nice that the teammates talk to you as you run. There are miniature cutscenes where they'll want to talk to you real quick, and you can say yes or no to that. The battle system itself is fantastic because it's super dynamic, and getting blindsides only when a character is around you, and being able to use their abilities, and the animations for them are fantastic. It's just really, really well done. I just wish they would have hashed out the story a little better, or their delivery of the story before they released the game. They could have spent another 3-4 months just making the last few chapters of the game just like super stellar like the first chapters are. For example, this chapter we're in, it's not going to end for a while, but we would have beaten a chapter at the end of the game already because it's so rushed, and it's so much exposition too. There's not a lot of actual meaningful playtime in the open world or really consistent gameplay in the last chapters.
Our Crown City upbringing didn't prepare us for this.
Pretend you're walking.
It's rude to keep a girl waiting. You better apologize. What is that?
Oh shit.
A live hurricane. That thing's like half bird, half storm, half airship.
You realize that's 3 halves.
Would explain its size.
Awesome in every sense.
That is a hunt later, of course. Another incredibly awesome part of this game is the sheer scale of some of the enemies. Some of them are colossal, specifically the Adamantoids, the super boss of this game. It is quite literally the size of a mountain because it is a mountain. In fact, I could probably see it from here somewhere. One of these mountains is the Adamantoids. We'll walk by it. I'll know it when I see it, because I beat it to get the Platinum Trophy for this game. And oh my god, did it take a long time. But yes, the enemy design, the combat system is really good. I feel like it favors warp striking too much, though, because if you put into warp strike, you can pretty much just cheese everything. Like, decrease the MP needed for warp strike, increase the damage from warp strike. You could just warp away, warp strike it, warp away.
Indeed.
Pretty much how I beat the game the first time, although I'd like to not do that, or do it in a more... do it with more finesse this time. I don't know, it depends. I'm kind of stuffy right now, I'm sorry. And now we're in stasis, so if you use all your MP, you go into stasis mode. Stasis mode basically just means you can't use your MP and you can't warp strike. But there are abilities you can get which increase significantly the damage you do while you're in stasis mode, so there's an incentive to do that.
Come with us, Noct.
And here's the Regalia. And Tits McGee!
Sorry about the wait. Ain't she purty?
She's almost too pretty for the road.
She's back. We should all get a picture with her.
And Cindy's shorts. It's like... oh, they try so hard.
All the more reason to ride with care. Oh, and before I forget, would y'all mind making a little delivery for me?
Now that I have a car, not a problem, Tits. I should probably be picking the Ask My Friends option because I think you get AP for
Thought you'd say
considering their
yes.
opinion.
So I already put it in the trunk. There should be a motel on your way to Galden. If y'all wouldn't mind giving that to the owner, that'd be swell.
Grandpa like grandkid.
I think he meant
Now
to
that
say
she's all
like
polished
grandpa.
up and
Okay.
ready for the road.
Whatever.
Would you care to take her for a little test drive, Noct?
Nope, I know how to drive, Ignis. It's on rails. You can't actually go
Not
off
sure
the
I've
road
got
unless
what
you
it
get a
takes.
specific mod that they
I see.
updated the game with.
Then allow me to take the wheel.
Ignis will not drive out at night. You can get, of course, a skill that allows you to drive at night. That's actually not a skill, it's an upgrade for the car. You do find upgrades for the Regalia throughout the game, which is a really cool thing. So, at this point I need to check my gear. I don't actually know if this weapon merchant sells anything better than what I have. I didn't really check. Engine blade. This engine blade, ironically, once you upgrade it, as you can upgrade the weapons with the pluses next to them, this turns into the Ultima weapon, the best sword in the game. Now, there is a best weapon in the game for each class, which is really cool because they're in dungeons and shit, and the dungeons are really fun to do. But let's see. This is just two-handed sword and the javelin. Actually, I don't know. Did it give me other weapons? I didn't even check. No, it didn't. Okay. Right, it didn't. So, we're gonna talk to this guy.
Hey, what are you after this time?
Now, I don't, attack 28, attack 40. So this sword already is better than the engine blade. Now, but the engine blade, you can see it has a unique property. It absorbs the elemental powers of defeated foes. Since I don't use magic a lot, I don't really care about that, so I'm gonna give Noctis the broadsword.
Pleasure doing business.
The two-handed sword is what we currently have equipped. The war sword will be a better sword for both I and for Gladio. So we want to get two of these bad boys. We're probably going to run low on gil after we buy all this nonsense. We want to get the two of the Avengers because Ignis uses these as well. And then the gun, we want to get two of these, or one of these, because I can't get two, to give to Prompto to increase our damage. Can I sell something to get that extra gil? Because that's going to bug the shit out of me. I'm going to sell this. Can I sell two of them? Alright. Yeah, because I bought the... Right. Oh my god, fine. I'll remove the goddamn gear. I keep opening the wrong menu too. Gear, Noctis, two-handed sword. We want you to have the war sword. Engine blade, we want you to have the broadsword. I didn't buy a javelin, and I want you to have the daggers for the Avengers. Alright, so then we want you to put on the war sword. Hikimori shields is his secondary. We want you to have the Avengers, and we want you to have the Cocytus. And now we're going to sell the other two things to give Noctis the Cocytus,
Take a look at
even
our
though he
wares.
probably won't use it. I'm actually not going to buy it now that I think about it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to keep doing what Tits McGee wants us to do. We're going to go deliver the item that she gave us. Anyways, thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next one.
Which would be worse? To live as a monster or to die as a good man?